Before continuing this video, don't forget to subscribe to the Automotive News channel. Enjoy the video. For the current generation's third model year on sale, the 2022 Volkswagen Jetta and its high-output GLI version are getting a makeover. It brings updated styling, more safety features and power for the regular sedan, as well as reshuffled trims. And provided pricing doesn't change too much, they should be better values. All Jettas feature new grilles and bumpers. The lower grille openings have a more flowing shape consistent with the new Golf and GTI. The regular ones get nifty LED running lights on each end of those grille openings, whereas the GLI gets red-trimmed air intakes. The regular Jetta's rear bumper gets some chrome accents, whereas the GLI gets a large mesh trim around enlarged dual exhaust tips. LED headlights and taillights are standard on all models, and new colors and wheel designs are available, too. Inside, the 2022 Jetta looks very similar to the previous ones, but little tweaks have been made throughout. All models now get the digital cockpit instrument screen as standard. Contrast stitching has also been added to the dash panels and in the doors for a little more detail as well as for a slightly more premium feel. New steering wheels have been fitted, with the GLIs getting haptic touch buttons along with a bright red accent. The GLI gets new red and black dash accents as well as perforated leather seats with red coloring in the perforations. Digging deeper, the regular Jetta gets a nice powertrain upgrade. It now uses the turbocharged 1.5-liter engine from the Taos, which brings output up to 158 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. It can be paired with either a 6-speed manual transmission or 8-speed automatic. The manual is only available on the base S and the Sport trim, the latter of which replaces the R-Line and includes stiffer suspension, the brake-based XDS limited slip differential and black trim. As before, the chassis is a version of the MQB platform with torsion beam rear suspension. Regular Jettas also now come with more standard safety features including automatic emergency braking, blind spot warning and rear cross traffic warning. Buyers have a simpler selection of trims, too, including S, Sport, SE and SEL. Despite what you may read on the internet, sedans aren't dead, not yet at least. Sure, SUVs have taken over the world, but millions of four-door cars are still sold each year. In fact, sedans remain a cornerstone of Volkswagen's US lineup, accounting for 29% of its sales. To continue attracting drivers that might otherwise nab a Honda Civic, Mazda 3, Nissan Sentra or Toyota Corolla, VW has updated its popular Jetta and sporty GLI models for 2022. Just don't expect a clean sheet overhaul for these two cars. Changes made for the latest model year are rather limited. The Jetta and GLI feature updated exterior styling, enhanced standard technology and a few mechanical upgrades. Given that this is a refresh, not a ground-up redesign, both cars continue to ride on the Volkswagen Group's MQB architecture, which underpins an array of vehicles from brands including Audi, Seat and Škoda. The Jetta and GLI feature a strut-style suspension up front. No surprise there, the Jetta gets a torsion beam at the back, though the GLI features a highfalutin multi-link setup, which is in keeping with its more driver-oriented ethos. The 2022 Jetta features a 1.5-liter turbocharged four-cylinder that delivers a modest 158 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque, enough to get the car to 60 miles per hour in the low 8-second to high 7-second range according to VW. This big block engine is only a tiny bit larger than the 1.4-liter unit it replaces, but it's been tuned to crank out appreciably more low-end twist. To achieve this, the upsized engine has higher direct injection pressure, plasma-coated cylinder bores, a variable geometry turbocharger and intelligent cooling that helps warm things up more quickly by directing coolant flow to different parts of the engine as needed. The Jetta can be had with either a 6-speed manual transmission or an 8-speed automatic. Naturally, the GLI packs a lot more heat. As it has for years, a 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder resides under the hood. It's rated at a more potent 228 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. As per usual, you can get it with a standard 6-speed manual transmission or opt for a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic. The updated Jetta and GLI both have plenty of driver assistance tech. I mean, you can't not offer that these days. The base cars come standard with automatic emergency braking, blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert. Of course, plenty of other amenities are available in the automaker's IQ Drive Suite, offered from the base Jetta on up. This includes useful tech like automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection, blind spot monitoring, rear cross-traffic alert, lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control with stop-and-go capability and more. Not surprisingly, IQ Drive is standard on higher-end models including the GLI. Don't expect any earth-shattering changes inside these Volkswagen sedans. The enhancements made are modest but, of course, welcome. A digital instrument cluster with an 8-inch screen is now standard on the Jetta, though the GLI comes with a larger 10-inch digital cockpit Pro at no extra charge. A Wi-Fi hotspot is standard, while wireless charging, heated and ventilated front chairs plus heated rear seats are offered on the Jetta. In comparison, GLIs have heated and ventilated front buckets. A leatherette-wrapped steering wheel is standard on higher-end Jettas and you can even get it with heating. The GLI is equipped with a leather-wrapped sport tiller, which can also be upgraded with heating. Jazzing things up, these sedans also gain contrast stitching on the door panels, armrests and gear selector. New fabrics and leathers are offered, too. Cleaning up the model range, simplifying things for drivers, the updated Jetta is offered in 4 trim levels. S, Sport, SE and SEL. Sport is new for 2022 and comes with 17-inch wheels, blacked-out exterior elements and springs borrowed from the outgoing R-Line model that provide a lower ride height. As for the GLI, it will be available in one basically loaded trim. This gets you 18-inch wheels, a retuned exhaust system with generously sized outlets, leather seating surfaces inside and much more. The outgoing Jetta is a relative bargain, starting at around $20,000 including destination charges. Even though official pricing has not been announced, the updated 2022 model should be roughly in line with that figure, but likely a skosh higher. As for the fancier GLI, it currently kicks off just shy of 28 grand, though it can be pushed into the mid-30s. Expect the updated variant to be very similar. If you like what you see, you don't have long to wait. Look for these new sedans at Volkswagen stores in the 4th quarter of the year, probably in November, as long as the ongoing microchip shortage doesn't cause any delays. Americans still buy sedans for a number of reasons. At Volkswagen, the continued demand for the Jetta, including its sporty GLI variant, is evidence. Those reasons include value and performance. The 7th generation Jetta gets a refresh for the 2022 model year. The German automaker thinks the current generation is hitting a sweet spot in the market. It is VW's 3rd best-selling nameplate in the United States. After all, the Jetta is key to a car lineup that also includes the Volkswagen Passat, at least for now, and the Volkswagen Arteon. VW announced in January that the standard VW Golf will no longer be sold in the US. But the sportier Golf GTI and Golf R continue on, and are redesigned for 2022. This brings us back to the Jetta. Sales for the model are up by 5% this year. Market share hit 9% in 2020, which is the highest in the VW lineup. And the Jetta moniker has the greatest name awareness. The Jetta GLI, however, not so much. But then again, the Jetta has been around for more than 4 decades. Calculated upgrades. The updates to the Jetta build on the model's current strengths. In short, the Jetta must retain its place as an attainable, roomy, fuel-efficient, and fun-to-drive car. It has a low cost of ownership, a fact that's helped by the likes of its free scheduled maintenance for 2 years or 20,000 miles and its fuel efficiency. VW did not mess with these things. In fact, upped the ante by way of an engine upgrade, a new sport trim, more standard equipment, and some design tweaks inside and out. Pricing for the 2022 Jetta has not been announced, but it is expected to stay close to the 2021 model's $19,990 cost of entry. The 2022 Jetta brings a new grille and front and rear fascia to the model. Opt for the GLI and VW adds wider dual exhausts, which the brand claims emit a meaner sound. Additionally, the GLI welcomes a black honeycomb diffuser, standard 18-inch wheels, and available black wheels. The GLI's telltale red chrome strip across the grille remains intact. Inside the 2022 Jetta. Inside, the Jetta welcomes the addition of a new steering wheel with more functions. VW, meanwhile, differentiates the GLI's cabin by way of a leather-wrapped sport steering wheel with haptic touch buttons. It's similar to the unit in the Volkswagen ID.4. Other changes include contrast stitching on the door panels and on the center armrest, as well as sharp-looking pieces of industrial trim. Ambient lighting runs across the dash and doors. The new cloth seats come heated and ventilated, and the GLI has a cool red underlay that can be seen through the perforated leather. An 8.0-inch digital instrument cluster is standard, while a 10.0-inch unit is available. It's standard on the Jetta SEL and GLI. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility also come standard. Power hour. The Jetta's prior 1.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine is retired in favor of the larger 1.5-liter unit VW debuted in the Taos. The new engine makes 158 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque, much of that available at the low end. That's 10 horses more than the old 1.4-liter. Torque, however, remains the same. Transmission choices carry over: a 6-speed manual or an 8-speed automatic gearbox. The GLI, essentially a GTI with a trunk, features a multi-link rear suspension, torque-sensing limited slip differential, and brakes from the Golf R. Like the 2021 Jetta GLI, the 2022 model continues to rely on a 228 HP 2.0-liter Turbo 4 for motivation. Those horses are channeled to the front wheels by way of a 6-speed manual or 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. VW's IQ Drive suite of driver assistance systems are available on the Jetta and standard on the GLI. The setup includes forward collision warning with emergency braking and blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic alert. Choose the GLI and throws in extras such as lane keep assist and adaptive cruise control. Both are available on the run-of-the-mill Jetta, too. Trimming trims. For 2022, VW drops the SEL Premium. Its features are merged into SEL. From the Jetta line, the automaker also swaps the R-Line trim for a new Sport One, which includes the likes of dark graphite 17-inch wheels, a blacked-out grille, black mirror caps and window decor, black headliner, and special cloth sport seats. The trim walk now goes S, Sport, SE, and SEL. About 10% of customers are expected to go for the Sport, and of those, VW thinks about half will choose the manual transmission. The GLI line gets simplified, too, and is now offered strictly in Autobahn guise, with the lesser S no longer offered. There is an available black package, too, which includes black 18-inch wheels, a black roof, black mirror caps, and a spoiler. Volkswagen is undergoing upheaval, adding SUVs and electric vehicles, while dropping longtime nameplates such as the conventional Golf and, after 2022, the Passat. Newcomers like the Taos and ID.4 helped Volkswagen increase its U.S. sales by 41% through July compared with the same time period just 1 year ago. For now, at least, the Jetta remains solidly ensconced in the VW fold. Look for the 2022 VW Jetta and the Jetta GLI to go on sale later this year.